right now we're going to be reviewing season 2 of Surviving R. Kelly, episode 3. And episode 3 is called Please Come Forward. That's what they title episode 3. So again, make sure you hit the like button, share the live, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live, because we do go live like almost every single day. As far as this episode of Surviving R. Kelly, season 2, episode 3, it seemed like they mainly focused in on one of his victims, one of R. Kelly's victims, which was Geronda Pace. And for those who might have been, follow me for a minute or subscribe to my other channel, which is Tanya's Primetime TV Media Reviews. If you haven't subscribed to that channel for a while, then you know that as soon as Geronda Pace came out as a survivor or as a victim, I had did a review on her story on Tanya's Primetime TV channel. So if you want to check that out, I did that probably I don't know, it's probably like 2 years now. It's been a while since I did the review on Geronda Pace. But she had got a lot of limelight because of the fact that not only was she a victim of his, not only was she underage and too young to consent to, what R. Kelly is allegedly tends to do to these young girls, but she was like a mega fan. She was like a super fan. And that's the main thing that I think of every time I hear her name. She was like one of these mega super fans that was really intrigued with this man and in love with his man. Like, and this Geronda is much younger than we are, like most people who are in my circle, younger than us. But back then when he first came out, a lot of women were in love with some R. Kelly. A lot of women. He had fans all over the world who was in love with him. And she was just another one of them. It's just another, young woman, teenager who was in love with R. Kelly. She was so in love with him and so infatuated with him that she would, during high school, she would skip high school and she would attend his court hearings. Every single court hearing, each time, each day, she would skip school, wouldn't tell her parents where she was going, wouldn't tell her friends, wouldn't tell her school. She would just bounce out of school, out of class, and head on down to the courthouse. And she would be supporting him. She would be on the corner. She would be talking to the news reporters and being interviewed, saying she believes him. She thinks he's innocent and that these ladies are lying and blah, 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 blah. And so when it comes to find out, her, just like, the rest of the victims, it seemed like, again, it's the same MO. It's like he knows how to choose these women. He knows how to choose these women. They're all the same. They're all young. They're all black. They come from broken homes. They come from parents who don't care about them, or parents who abuse them themselves, or mothers who are too wrapped up in their own world and their own men, to enough to care. Like, how you skip school every single day to attend this grown man's trial. And your parents, nobody, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened in that case. I mean, the schools never called home. Like, did they have a phone? I mean, they couldn't mail a letter. They couldn't. I don't know how her parents didn't know that she wasn't going to school. But anyway, she continued going to visit him. And then when he got off, just like everybody else, and not everybody, because I wasn't one of them, but a lot of people was like, oh, he got off, in 2008 when he was, he got off from those indictments for pornography, and everybody's like, oh, he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. He doesn't do that to children. He doesn't mess with young girls. They're all lying. They're all liars. That wasn't him in the tape. I mean, he's telling these girls that he was messing with around that time, even after his brother Kerry said, dude, you ain't about to put this on me. You ain't about to ruin my image, ruin my career, send me to prison because you don't want to face the charges. You come on now, you do the crime, you got to do the time. He tried to have his brother Kerry, who, you know, kind of looks a little bit like him, try to have him, you know, covered up, take the rap for it. Who takes a rap for child pornography and sexual assault? Who takes the rap for that? He like, man, I don't give a doggone. You my brother. You are Kelly. You famous. You a god to a lot of people. You an idol to a lot of people. You rich. You famous. You can buy me anything I want. He said, no money could make me go down there and say that was me on that tape. Hey, Crypto Tika, how you doing, huh? I'm like, but yeah, even with the other lady, the hairdresser, the braider. The one who was braiding his hair, the one who started out braiding, she was braiding the hood. You know how it is when you live in the hood and you got, you know somebody who's skilled with doing hair, ponytails, braids, weaves, sew-ins, whatever, and they, you know, become hood famous. They known all around the hood, the neighborhoods, at school. This person can really slay your head. You know, she was one of those. You know, a lot of people knew who she was, but she was just like hood famous, and she wanted to eventually move up to the next level where she would do like the hair of celebrities. She would become like a celebrity stylist. And so when somebody hooked her up with R. Kelly and she started braiding his hair, boy, she thought she had did it now. She was like, oh my God, I'm doing R. Kelly's hair. I'm braiding his hair. I mean, she just knew that, you know, this would elevate her and she would get like more clients and everything. And she did that. She did. She started getting more clients, started doing more hair. But that was like crazy how he did her. I mean, way before he did her, when he first started doing her wrong, like, she didn't even care though. She was like, I'm doing a celebrity. I'm a celebrity hairstylist now. Becoming more well-known. People are starting to respect me. He was paying her $100 to do his hair. Now, mind you, $100 to braid somebody's hair might not be too shabby. I didn't have my hair done before, and I didn't pay between, depending on the hairstyle, I done paid between like $65 to like $200. So, you know, I ain't paying more than $200 something for no braids. I just buy me a braid wig and let people think I got braids. Because some of them braid wigs are really, really nice. Matter of fact, my homegirl had on one day and I was like, oh, who did your braids? Hook me up. And she said, girl, that's a wig. She pulled the whole thing off. I was like, shut the front door. What up, CISO SS? Hey, what up, fam bam? Hey. You need to start your YouTube channel. But this summer we're gonna be doing the cars and the rims and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you need to make sure you get you a YouTube channel. But if you need help, I can show you how to set your channel up. But yes, thanks for tuning in. And it was good seeing you earlier today. But yeah, he was paying her $100. But keep in mind, even though $100 might seem a lot to get your hair braided, or to pay to get your hair braided, or it might seem reasonable to some people, she had to catch a cab to him. Now, when he said, I need my hair braided, he wanted her there within the hour. Like, how you, okay, drop everything you're doing, come braid his hair. But then when she got there, she said he would make her wait like up to 8 hours. He would be in the studio. He would be recording. He would be making music. He would be doing this, having meetings, business meetings, you know, whatever going on. So you demand that she be there in an hour. Then she has to sit and wait up to 8 hours. And then she's braiding your hair for like 8 more hours. And then you give her $100. That's like 24 hours that she was needed. That's like 24 hours away from her family, away from her kids, and only gave her $100. So she had 3 kids. She had to pay daycare. She paid $20 to the daycare, to the lady, for, you know, the babysitter. $20 for each kid. That was $60. Then she had to pay the cab fare there and back. Then she had like, what, $20 left? like $20 left. But she said she didn't care because he was good to her. He treated her well. She got a lot of, more attention. She became a little bit more famous, well known because she was doing R. Kelly's braids. She was braiding his hair. And so she was like, okay, I'm not, but even though he only gave me 100, I'm getting a lot more money because I have more clients. This led to her defending him. Even her family and friends was like, why is you around this dude? You hear about all these things that's going on. He's on trial. She's like, he's a good guy. I work for him. She would even see people out in public and hear them talking about him. And she would butt in and be like, you don't know him? That's my boss. He ain't like that. He don't do that. I don't never see him do stuff like that. She defended him, and she would come back and tell him. And he would be like so thankful and so grateful that she's out there, out there defending him, outside of the office. She's out in the public defending him. And so she said they got closer and closer. He was always treating her like a big brother. She felt like a little sister, and everything was cool. He always gave her advice. Whenever she had issues at home, he always told her, gave her advice. And some of the things, she said that he would tell her would be really, really great advice, like how to deal with this, how to deal with my abusive husband, how to deal with this, and she really looks up to him. And even though she thought that she, hair braiding was like her end all be all, he was like, no, you a good hair braider and all that, but you should look further. You should try to do something bigger, something better, something. Just don't stop at hair braiding, which, I mean, hey, that's a skill that a lot of people wish they could have. So, hey, if somebody told me they want to be a hair braider, I'm like, hey, more power to you. When can I get an appointment? Because I can't braid for days. I cannot braid at all. Could never braid, and always wished I could braid. But anywho, so he would always like uplift her and encourage her, and she had low self-esteem. So, he kind of helped build up her esteem and everything was cool. And then one day he just flipped on her. Like how they say he would go from like night and day. He would go like Jekyll to Hyde. His personalities, remember, he always act like he's two different entities. R. Kelly here, Robert Kelly here. Two different entities. This one act like this, that one acts like this, And she said one day she had finished braiding his hair, and he just walked up to her and said, I want a head massage. She was like, hold up, I don't do head massages. I'm a hair braider, not a head massager. He was like, not this head, that head. And she was like, hold up, wait a minute. Excuse me. And he went to grab her because she said she had braids in her hair. She's a hair braider. She had braids in her hair. And she said he grabbed hold to one of her braids, pulled her down to him, and forced himself on her. And what happened in the end? He skied all over her. She ran in the bathroom. She was crying. She was like, why you do this? Whatever. She ran. She stormed out of there. She went home. She told her family, told her brothers what happened, and told them she wanted to go. Now, mind you, she defended him. Every time somebody has something negative to say about him, she defended him. He's not like that. He's not abusive. He doesn't, sexual assault. Who, Rob? No, he ain't like that. And then this happens. So she has to go to her family and friends who told her in the beginning, do not braid his hair. Do not go around him. Have you not heard? Have you been sleeping under a rock what this man has allegedly done to young girls? But anyway, she went to her family, told them, I want y'all to beat him up. They was like, beat him up, Robert? That man got like security all over the place. They got guns. You just can't walk up to R. Kelly and whoop his butt. You just can't stomp him in the street like that. So they said, you got to go to the cops. She went to the cops. And like some of the other victims, they didn't believe her totally, but they knew something probably happened because of all the girls that had already complained and filed complaints about him. Hey, Isha, how you doing? Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in today. But yeah, we're just talking about Surviving R. Kelly Season 2, Episode 3, which was called Please Come Forward. And she went to the police. She got an attorney. They had reason enough to believe that she was there. They had her clothes, had, semen on it or whatnot. And they went to his place and to question, the people around there, because she said she knew everybody. She knew his entourage. She knew his camp. She knew his friends, And when they got there and asked about her, they all was like, who? We don't know her. Who is she? We ain't never seen her. Lanita who? Lanita Carter? We don't know no hair braider. We don't know her. So her attorney called her and was like, they down here talking about they don't know you. They never seen you. And he was like, you have to give us something that'll prove that you was here. She said, my bag is there. My bag is still there, because she just ran out. She left her, man, if you do hair and you got a bag, you got your duffel bag, you got everything in there, your blow dryer, you got all your tools, all your instruments, all your sprays and grease, hair grease, gels, you got all that stuff in there. And she said, my bag is there in his office where I braid his hair. They go look, no bag. He said, listen, I want to believe you, but you got to give us something that nobody else would know is in here, in his office. You got to tell us something that nobody else would know unless they were in there and saw it. And so then she was like, okay. There's like 2 bottles of prescription medicine from Osco, sitting in front of these Grammys on this glass stand. And so she said her attorney was like running with the phone, breathing and huffing and puffing. Because they only had so amount of time that they could search his place. And if they didn't find anything, they had to leave. So then he took off and he found it. He said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He said, you just gave us 2 more hours to continue searching his place. They ended up finding her bag in the dumpster. So him or somebody in his camp dumps her bags in the dumpster behind the building. All her stuff was in there. So she had enough evidence, enough proofs to prove that something happened. They were trying to cover it up. They had to change their stories. They was like, oh yeah, we know her. Yeah, okay, the hair braider. We know her. But still, when they got to court, nothing happened. Charges, nothing happened. But she ended up at the suggestion of, I think, her attorney, he suggested that she go see the offices of Logan. Now, from the last episode, Logan, she's the white lady at the law firm. I think she's like the head of the law firm, but she got people, who works with her. And they have represented a lot of people who allegedly claim that they have been assaulted by R. Kelly. And she has won a lot of civil cases. A lot of the criminal charges dropped. They collapsed. But she's won a lot of civil cases. Now, excuse me. They recommended that she go to her and sue him for civil charges. And again, just like the other women with the civil case, you might get paid. You might get 50, 100, 200,000, whatever. But you have to sign an NDA. So, of course, she had to do that. A lot of people, again, would not have, most likely, probably not, became a victim of his if all these other ones wasn't out there taking money and taking settlements. And the thing about it is, most of them said they just wanted him to serve his time, or wanted him to apologize, at least admit to what he's done. But then when they weren't unbelieving, the charges got dropped, they was like, okay, the last resort is to sue him civilly. But of course, you got the people out there saying, oh, these ladies, they just did it because they wanted money. They just trying to take the man's money. A lot of these women pressed charges on him so he could go to jail and get prosecuted. They didn't go in saying, I want a civil suit. They went in because they had wanted criminal charges because they felt violated. They were assaulted. They were abused. But when you see all these NDAs and all these settlements, you know, it would make some people say or think that they just wanted the money. But that's not always the case. That's not always the case. And he's still facing 3 to 7 years in prison for each count of aggravated criminal sexual assault. He's still facing $25,000 fee for each count, and also being on the sex offenders registration list for the 4 victims that he's in jail for now. So he's still facing those right now. The other lady, back to Geronda Pace. I just wanted to speak about Lanita real quick and get her out the way, because that is who they spoke to at the beginning of episode 3. But Geronda Pace, a lot of people always speculate when some young girls excuse me, are easily capable of being with an older person or having things done to them that shouldn't be done to them. And they wonder, like, how is this possible? Where's your parents? Where's your father? Where's your grandpa? Where's your circle? Where's your, you know, where are these people? And then they speak to the white lady again, the lady Lindsay, the one who has said before that she worked for him for a certain amount of time and she don't believe any of these women. She don't believe any of them. Like, she thinks like he's innocent of all charges. And again I say, I think something probably happened to her. I really do. But anyway, I already spoke about that before, and I'm not going to get back on that. But one thing she did have to say this time in this episode, Miss Lindsay Perryman Dunn, she was like, to the parents, why would you allow your daughter to go through this abuse? And what was your motive as parents? And why didn't you help your daughter? Not only her, but a lot of people ask those same questions to a lot of victims, a lot of survivors of sexual abuse. Where were your parents? Or parents, why weren't you there? How could you let this happen? Where was you? What was your motive? Like a lot of people feel like these parents are out here and they want money too. Like they just, I'm not saying that parents do not set their children up to be violated for a come up, because it happens. People are that crazy and that sick and that heinous and that evil that they will set their children up, boys and girls, to be violated for a come up. So it does happen. It does happen. But it happens more. I mean, it's said more about these victims when it's a celebrity that we're speaking of. When it's R. Kelly, when it's Weinstein, when it's Bill Cosby, when it's Epstein, when it's all these rich and famous, and that's just a drop in the bucket. That's just a drop in the bucket. In the business and the entertainment world, this has been going on for decades. But a lot of people, they either get assaulted, they try to put charges on them, charges get dropped, or the celebrity, over the years, over the decades, we see it over and over again, they will settle out of court civilly, and they will pay them some money, and they will make them sign an NDA, and in the end, it leaves that celebrity to keep re-victimizing other people, or keep, victimizing other people. So in the end, it's like you might get some money, you might be able to go shopping, go to the mall, go on a trip, whoop, but no amount of money can pay for what people experience when they have been sexually assaulted. No amount of money. And that money gonna come and that money gonna go. So the title of this episode for episode 3 was titled Please Come Forward. I and others still believe there's a lot of other victims out there. A lot of other victims out there, but when you're speculated and you're ridiculed and you're judged and you're not believed, and you see what everybody else is going through, some people aren't strong enough they're not strong enough to face it. They're like, okay, it is what it is. It happened. I shouldn't have been there. I should have listened to people. I shouldn't have went to his house. I shouldn't have went to his studio. I shouldn't have, I shouldn't have listened to my friends when they said, come on, let's go kick it with R. Kelly. No amount of money can pay for that much pain and suffering. And it's horrible. It's just horrible. Again, I hope that he gets punished to the full extent. I really do. There are still 2 more episodes in this season 2. I'm going to try to do episode 4 tomorrow, and I'm going to try to do episode 5 on Monday. Hopefully, with my schedule, I'll be able to keep on track, because there's a lot of other shows that I have to review, some TV shows, and I know Sunday Power comes back on, so I'm definitely going to review Power as soon as Power goes off, like within the hour after Power goes off on Sunday night. I am definitely going to come live, and we are going to discuss Power, because as we all know, for those of you who follow Power, the first episode from the show that came back when it came back on last week, we still don't know what happened to Ghost. We don't know if he's dead. We don't know if he's injured. We don't know if he got shot at all. We don't know if there's one big dream. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if the producers are playing with our emotions. We don't know nothing right now. So I am going to review that Sunday night, within the hour after Power goes off on Sunday night. But one thing I wanted to say, excuse me. One thing I want to say about this, about the title of this particular episode, Surviving R. Kelly Season 2, Episode 3, called Please Come Forward. A lot of kids, including myself, we were raised to, our parents would tell us stuff like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't let people do this to you, you shouldn't let people touch you here, you shouldn't let, a lot of people were taught that. They were taught that. But like Tarana Burke said, a lot of kids were taught that. They were taught it was wrong if uncle or grandpa or brother or the mailman or the pastor or somebody, anybody touched you in a certain place. But they weren't taught that if it does happen, it was not your fault. What we are taught, and what a lot of kids are still taught, is don't let nobody do nothing to you. Come and tell me, come and tell me, come and tell me. And children, sometimes they feel like when things happen, because they allowed it to happen, and not that they allowed it, like they just went in, eyes open, take me. I'm here for your every desire, your every fantasy. You can have me. They don't go into it like that. But some of them who can't get away or couldn't get away or not strong enough to fight, or might have skipped school because they want to hang out with their homies, or they stayed out late and they didn't come home, or they, was at their friend's house and something happened over there. Sometimes they feel the guilt that if they weren't where they were supposed to be, if they had listened to their parents, if they didn't skip school, if they, weren't at a certain place at a certain time, and they should have been somewhere else. It's all kind of different scenarios where kids be like, if, this is my fault because I should have been doing something else, or I shouldn't have been there. And so sometimes they feel like, okay, it's my fault. Why tell? Why go tell anybody if it's my fault? So one of the main things we have to teach our children is it's not your fault. Not just if somebody touches you, let me know. Because a lot of times these predators, they'll tell them, your mom isn't going to believe you because they'll think that you wanted it, or they'll think that you like me, or I'll tell them this, that you pursued me, that you wanted me, things like that. And a lot of times our children don't necessarily know that is not their fault. They don't know with that mentality, with their minds not being fully developed as a child, as a grade school kid or a junior high kid or a preteen. They don't. with their minds not fully developed, they don't think fully through when these things happen. And a lot of times they feel guilt and they feel shame. So on top of telling our kids, if such and such touch you, or giving them signs to look for, or giving them red flags to look for, also let them know it's not your fault. I'm not going to blame you for anything. I'm not going to think that you pursued. I'm not going to think that you brought this on yourself. They need to hear that. They need to hear that. And I think more kids would come forward if, you know, they knew that. They knew that they wouldn't be scrutinized by their parents or by their, you know, their caretakers. So, because it is true, though. A lot of parents be like, well, why was you doing over there? Why wasn't you at home anyway? Why? We go in automatically, like, automatically grilling them instead of picking up the phone and calling 911. And especially with the family members. Like with our community, a lot of people don't want to call the cops on their family members. They don't want to call the cops on their family members. Why? A lot of times it goes back to the history of Black people and police, slavery and masses. You know how a lot of Black men have been killed and beaten and tortured throughout the years, who might have been locked up or attacked by police or whatever. A lot of that stems from that. A lot of that stems from not enough Black people being at home and being around their children and raising their children. So a lot of Black families in the Black communities don't call the authorities. They just be like, we gonna handle it inside. We gonna handle it inside the family, and we gonna sweep this under the rug, and we just gonna keep you from Uncle Bobo or Cousin Henry, or, you know, we just gonna keep y'all away from each other. That's not good enough. Is absolutely not good enough. So we need to do better as a community, as a society. We need to do better in protecting our children at all costs. But anyway, y'all, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. And also remember, I have other channels. I have 3 altogether: The Hood Table, Tanya's Primetime TV /media reviews, and Tanya's Delights Slice by Slice. And Tanya is spelled Tanya. Even though it sounds like Tonya, it's spelled Tanya. So Tanya's Delight Slice by Slice, which is my live cake decorating channel, and Tanya's Primetime TV media reviews. So with that being said, you guys, I will see you guys later. In the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.